All right, let's talk a little bit about, on Friday, this administration took the initiative toward trying to plug the leaks. And the Attorney General came out and said, we're going to prosecute people who do the leaking as well. And it was suggested yesterday by Rod Rosenstein, the Deputy Attorney General, Bill Bennett, that, these leakers could be in the White House. They could be members of Congress. What do you make of that?
Sure, go after wherever the leakers are. I am not as pleased as a lot of people, even maybe some people at Fox and Friends. He didn't mention the press, and I know that gave general relief to the people in the press. I'm part of the press now. But First Amendment is not a license to ruin your country. And there are laws that say the press cannot, take these leaks when they harm the country and go public with them. I wish he'd been more aggressive on that. But sure, go after the leakers, go after whoever the leakers are, but let's not have excluded special categories.
And you were saying reporters, if they've got, if somebody in the government has a super secret thing, they hand it to a reporter, by virtue of that reporter taking it and then publishing it, they should be prosecuted?
Look, James Risen, not James Rosen of Fox, but James Risen in the New York Times, was in trouble, some trouble. They didn't end up prosecuting him. He was releasing all sorts of things which were endangering national security. You had another reporter at the Washington Post a few years back releasing the names and locations of the secret sites where the interrogation of people was being held. Imagine that somebody got a hold of a report from General Mattis directing, where U.S. troops would go after ISIS in Raqqa. Should that be reported or not? No, it should not be reported. And if somebody does and we lose life, I think that person should be prosecuted. There's no immunity here. These are tough cases to make. I understand it. Good lawyers defend people. My brother defended Judith Miller, who stayed in jail. But nevertheless, the law is the law, and it has to be honored.
Yeah, Bill, New York Times article, speaking of reporters, they got a leak from the White House, and they say that Vice President Mike Pence is now positioning himself to run for president in 2020. He's denying it, saying it's disgraceful, laughable, offensive, and offensive to his family even. What'd you make of that?
I think he is truly offended by it. I'm pretty close to the vice president, very close to his staff. He's got a wonderful staff. I talk to those people on a semi-regular basis.
Have you talked to him since that story broke?
No, I haven't, but I have talked to them about this issue. And what's interesting, the couple of occasions where I've been in their office, they say, are we doing enough to defend the president? Are we keeping sure that we are keeping close to the president and defending him? And I said, I think you're doing a remarkable job. I think this is really crazy, really unfair, typical, not unusual, but that's that same group again we were just talking about, isn't it?
And Bill,
Mike Pence has very little guile and very little personal ambition about him.
Let's try to analyze why this is happening now. Could it be, in your opinion, sort of a byproduct of the Russia madness that's been going on in the mainstream media, kind of quieting down for now?
It's part of the whole madness. Look, this sanguine attitude people have about Mueller and all. I mean, Mueller has hired, 10 or 12 of the toughest, roughest prosecuting lawyers there are. The venue is in D.C. He says it's not a fishing expedition. Well, call it a hunting expedition. I believe these guys are out for bear. And it's going to be very rough. So I hope the president's lawyers gear up. But sure, this story, just append to it. Trump's gone. Start thinking about Trump being gone and who will replace him. This is all part of the narrative to get Trump out because they didn't like the results of the last election. Look, I have my disagreements. I have my problems. But we had an election. He is the president. And some things are getting done. Some remarkable things are getting done.
Indeed. All right. Bill Bennett joining us from our nation's capital today. Always a great pleasure having you on the program. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bill. Great to see you.
Thanks a lot.